then I will let everybody know. Okay, guys, I'm recording this session. This will also be uploaded to YouTube channel. Okay, fine. Today's session is about unit testing, TDD and BDD. So I will do some hands-on on C#. So Anu, are you there? Anu Sindhura? Yeah. Yeah, Anu and Rizal will help me if I have any issues with code because I'm trying it in C#. So, and did Shailaja join?
No, I think.
Okay,
No, it's only Asta. Sandhya is here.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. So, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So, before doing anything, first, any idea what is unit testing? Can anyone say something about unit testing?
The testing is done by the developers just before they sending the staging to the testers, checking the code.
Yeah, once they prepare a module, develop a module or a particular part of code, they just test it if it is working fine or not before they try to send it to the repository or.
Okay, so how do you think they will test? Okay, Nagarjuna said unit testing is done by developers. Okay, true. And Prabhakaran said once we develop a module of a code and that is tested. So how is it performed? Any idea?
JUnit tool.
Okay.
There are some tools which helps in testing it.
Okay, so my question is basically what do we do with the tools?
Check the code with
check the unit, basically, yeah, the code.
Yeah, Asta, you should speak more because you're the expert. Okay, right. So let's do one thing today. I will create a simple calculator application, and then we will see whether the calculator application is working or not, and then we will see how we can add unit testing to that calculator application and the benefits of adding unit tests to it. Okay, now I will create. Okay, I'm doing this in C#, but it is same for every programming language. We will ask Shailaja to do it in Java in coming days. But the overall concept is same, whether it is Python or whether it is JavaScript, it doesn't matter. The concept is same for all the programming languages out there. Okay, so now I will create one new project. I'm using this MS Test framework that is provided by Microsoft itself for C#. So similarly for Java, we use JUnit or TestNG. And for Python, we have PyTest, I think. And for JavaScript, I don't know, for JavaScript, JTest, something like that we have. I'm not sure exactly for JavaScript though. So yeah, for every, let's say we have Selenium, right? Selenium is a library for UI testing. Similarly, JUnit, TestNG are also libraries, and even MS Test is also a library. So end of the day, these are all libraries. Now I create, and I will name it as a calculator, and I will create a project. You can interrupt, ask questions at any point of time, no problem. It basically created one test first, but we will not use this first. First, we will write a calculator program. Okay. So, how many of you know what is an interface? Interface? Rizal, Anu, or Matteo?
Interface is like making instances, not the actual method over there or actual class.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a object-oriented concept, interface. You have interface, you have class, you have object, and so on. So I will first create an interface. Okay, ICALC. I'll just keep the name simple. Okay, this is an interface. Okay, what this will do? This will do nothing. There is no code in it, but this will describe the structure of the actual class, or we can use it as a prototype. Let's say, so what should a calculator should have? The functionalities. Can anyone say?
Addition, subtraction,
And subtraction,
division,
multiply,
and
division.
multiply.
So
This
say,
Multiple
basic.
operations.
yes. Int add should be there, and it should take values int x comma int y. Let's say, so this should be there, and what else should be there? So this should not be class,
Subtraction,
interface. This should be
interface.
Okay. Next, what else should we have? Int subtraction.
Subtraction,
Should have similarly to, and what else?
division,
Multiplication.
or multiplication.
1 second, let me check if anyone is waiting to join. No, yeah, okay. Yes, I will call it as multiply, and I will division. Okay, so enough, more than enough. This is the structure. I'm just creating a structure. If I want to use some variables, variable values, anything, I can define in this interface itself. So basically, this is an interface. Now I will create my actual class, which implements this interface. So I will go, I will create a class. These are all same concepts, guys. No matter which programming, if it is object-oriented programming language, this concept will be there. Interface class concept will be there. Now I will name my class as CALC class. Okay. And I will just say here it implements iCalc. The naming convention for interface is
I.
just I, simple. CALC. Okay, so it is showing error. Okay. Why it is showing error? So you are
The
saying
namespace.
no, not namespace.
So using something.
Yeah, you were saying your class calc implements iCalc interface, but it is mandatory to implement all the functionalities mentioned in the interface. So here nothing is implemented in this class. This class is empty. What I can do, I can just go here. I can just click and I can say implement interface. If you see here, it is for you. It is adding all the functions that are there in the interface. Okay. In this way, you can restrict any developers, whoever is implementing this interface, you will force them to implement all the functionalities that are there. Right now, we added only 4 operations. We can add 100 operations in the interface, and we will force the developers to implement all. If you don't implement any one, it will give error like this. So that is the benefit with interface. You don't have to write the code. You will define the structure, and you will give the interface to the team, and the team will start working on it. So implement interface, simple. And we will delete this, and I will say just simply return. So if I give you 2 integers and I'm expecting the addition of it, what will you give in return to me? X plus 1, right?
Yes.
So that is what I'm saying here, x plus 1, simple. So for division, return x by y. For multiply, return x
into,
yeah,
it should be a star.
is star.
That is the problem for the Swedish keyboard. Ah,
Swedish keyboard of plus minus on the top you have.
No. Maybe near enter. Shift 2, sorry, shift 8.
yeah, finally.
Yes.
And subtraction x minus y.
Yeah.
Turn x minus y. Okay. So this is very simple program. There is, I mean, nothing super about it. Very, very simple program. This is our main functionality, which takes two integers as inputs and returns addition and returns division, returns multiplication and subtraction. So far, I will just name it as subtract. Okay. Now the developers have done the job, and it is working fine, and it is being used in some other applications also. But now tomorrow what happened, someone came and a new developer joined, and he found some issue with this, and he just changed this to from division to minus again. I mean, no one will do that kind of mistakes, but just hypothetically just assume that he did some mistake, which actually gives different results than the expected result. But if you run this code, it will not give you any errors. It will perform fine. But if you deploy it into production, then it will be a bug. And by unit tests, what we can do, we can find the bug here itself, even before we deploy by running the tests. So how we can do? Now we will see that directly without wasting much time. Yeah. So now what I will do, I will create one class. I will just rename it to calstest. And yes, I will go here, and here I will just create a method, addition test. Okay. So similarly, I can create multiple functions. This is nothing but a function, and I can create multiple functions for each functionality I have in my main application, add, division, multiplication, subtract. For all this, I can have similar functions which will actually test that function. Okay. And this is the syntax: test class, test method. This is the syntax for saying the program that, okay, this is a test function. If you don't put this, it will not consider it as a test. And for every programming language, it's the same. You use different types of annotations. In JUnit also, in TestNG also, you have similar: before test, after test, test class, test. You have a similar concept. Now, in every test, we should have three things. One is arrange, and another one is act, and third one is assert. Okay. So what is arrange? Arrange in the sense, you should arrange the functionality what you are going to test. So where we have our functionality, we have it in cals. Cals equal to new cals. And then where do we have it? And what we are going to test, act, int, I would say just result equal to calc dot add. And what values I want to pass to it, 2, 3. Let's say, for example, you can pass as many as you want. And then assert. This is the most important point. Assert dot or equal actual value. So what is the result of 2 plus 3?
It's 5.
5. We know that, right? 5.
Yes.
And this is something expected from
Yes.
this. Okay, that is expected. So what is the actual result? This is the actual result, right?
Result,
This is
yeah.
the actual result that we are getting by calling our functionality defined here. Okay, very simple.
Yes.
Till this point, anyone has any confusion?
No.
No, right? So
Yeah.
No.
very simple thing. We created one calculator application which has addition functionality. Now we are just trying that addition function by manually giving some expected value, and that will give the actual value, whatever it comes. Now, yeah, this is my test for addition. Now what I will do, I will just run this, run tests. Okay, if you see here, calculator, calc test, addition test, and this addition test passed. So all green text means addition test passed. Let's see here. If I put 4 here, what happens? Let's see. Hopefully it fails. Run. Okay, see, failed. And what it is saying, expected 4, but actually is 5. Okay, but this is not how we should do it. Okay, this is 5 itself. Now, so now you understood how this test method works, right? Hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Now let's see in more.
Why it says expected 4?
Sorry.
Why it says expected 4 and actual?
Because I am giving here expected 4. I am expecting 4.
Okay.
But the function actually giving 5.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Expected is always something user expects the function to do.
Okay.
Actually is always the function that actually gives.
Okay. Yeah.
No confusion, right?
No.
Right. Now I have only 4 functions in my main code. So I will just implement test unit tests. So this is unit testing, guys. In a nutshell, this is unit testing. So now we have tested your unit that is defined here. This unit we have tested here. We have added an automatic test. Now I will show you in more, not more, but at least in a broader way. Subtract test, and here we will call subtract, and here if I give 3, 2, okay, what is the expected result for me? So what do I expect if I give 3, 2?
1.
1. So I mean, and the result will have the actual value that comes from my code. And then let's do for subtract is over. Next, multiply. The whole Selenium and JUnit, TestNG all are relied on this concept only. The whole Selenium UI testing we do is using TestNG or JUnit. So we use this format only. And this is how we do arrange, act, and assert. So here we will use cals.multiply, and here we use result. Yeah, same. And then finally, if you see here, when I'm adding here, you can see it is adding the tests here. I hope you can see here.
Yeah.
Right. See. Okay. Now this is division test. And here we will call our division function. Cool. And when I multiply 3 to what I expect, actually 6, right?
Yeah.
And when I divide, let's say 3 with 3, I expect 1.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So now let me run the tests again. Oh, addition test failed. Why? Did I put 4 here? No. I think I should save it. Go here and run. Okay, all tests passed. That means
Yeah.
my code is working fine. But as I said earlier, so there was one requirement. See, this code is very simple and very basic, but in reality, the code is not this simple and not this basic. There will be complex algorithms and complex data structures involved, and it is very easy to make mistakes when you actually change the existing functionality. First time you will do according to the requirements. Maybe after 1 year, a new developer came and they tried to change this, some of this code, and when he was changing this subtraction, and instead of this he added maybe percentile, and when he tried to deploy this code, the unit tests will be executed first before deploying. And let's go to our unit tests and let's run our unit tests now. Run. No. Save all. Run tests. I think for percentile also that is same. Let's use where did we change the code? In
The subtraction.
Subtract, right? Let's go to our subtract. Let's give
Yes, it's written 1.
yeah it will give 1 only. 3 more 2 9 minus 2 should be 7, right?
Yeah.
So ta-da. Right, now let me run my tests. Run tests. So if you see, subtract failed because you're expecting 7 but you are getting 1. So now you can see, okay, yeah, thank you. Now you can see, okay, there is something wrong with my subtraction, and I will go to subtraction and I will check, okay, so I did something wrong here, and I will change it to minus, and then I will save it, and then again I will run the unit tests. Right click, run tests, and run. See, my test passed. So this is how we will quickly find the issues even before the testers actually find them. If I don't use this unit test, the only way I find this bug is when testers perform it in the staging, or sometimes maybe even in production when users actually find it. So I can add as many test cases as I want. Here I can put result 1, and I can do some negative testing as well. This is only positive testing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can add negative test cases. Let's say result 2, whether it is working fine for -3 and 3. Okay, and I will add one more assertion. Result 2 should be 0, right? Yeah, because it's addition, right? So -3 plus 3 should be 0. So I can add as many complex test cases as I want, and I can add assertions, and same goes here. But think in a broader way. This is only just a simple addition, subtraction, multiplication program, but in reality you can have complex algorithms, data structures involved, and you can put all the test cases that you can to test your functionality in this box, and just let it be there. So it will not yield results immediately, but maybe after 1 year and 1.5 years, if you are trying to create new features or modify the existing logic based on some new requirements, then these test cases will make sure that nothing goes wrong. And these will always test whether the functionality is working fine or not. So let me run for one last time and see if it is passing all the assertions or not. So it passed even the newly added 2 assertions as well. So yeah, that's all about unit testing. So when it comes to TDD, what is TDD? TDD is nothing but test driven development. For every functionality, you will write test cases like this. So what you have seen is more or less TDD. More or less TDD, what you have seen now is. Then what is BDD? Behavioral driven development. BDD is also enhances TDD, but instead of writing this test case on the functionality, you will write test cases based on the behavior. For example, you use some English-like language. You use English-like language, like if you use Gherkin language, you say when user enters 2, 3, then I should get 5. So that's how you define your test cases. Instead of writing them as functions, you will write a feature file. In feature file, you will mention given, when, then, this kind of terminology you will use, and then you will write the code according to that behavior. Instead of testing the units, you will test the behavior of the functionality. So what behavior actually you are expecting this from this functionality, that is what you will do. It's more or less like the terminology and the way you do in the BDD. That's what differs it from the TDD. But BDD and TDD are not completely different. BDD is you can say one step ahead of TDD, which also uses TDD, a superset of TDD. BDD is a superset of TDD. It uses TDD, but it checks the functionality of the, behavior of the functionality. Whereas TDD just tests the functionality, the unit of the functionality. So that's all, guys, about how people write unit tests in reality for their main code. So I asked the question right in the beginning, what is unit testing? And how do you implement in the real time? Simple, you will write another code that tests your actual code. That's how you implement unit testing. So here in this CALS test, we wrote a code, right? This is not a tool. This is again a code. But what all it does is test everything we have implemented in this. So add, division, multiply, subtraction. That's it. That's it, guys. So any questions?
Yeah, Jagdish.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, like when you said the subtract, you said the result 2 1 in the result 2. You give the negative testing. Negative testing is like which we should give the wrong one and it should draw.
No. Negative testing. Negative testing. In
yeah,
this
case,
if I give wrong input, for example, let's say this division is there. Division should not accept 0 as y value. Okay, right? It should give 0 division error. But here I have not implemented anything, right, to handle that case.
Yeah. No.
So
yeah, then
that's
next,
what I say.
iCalc, I think.
Yeah. So no. Here in division.
Yeah, here -3. Yeah. There I got.
Here here in division, if I give 0 here, what do you expect as actual result? 3 by 0.
There will be nothing.
Nothing.
3 only.
No, not 3. So there is, you cannot divide with 0. It should give 0 division error actually. That is the negative case. For that also I should write some assertion. Okay, when user enters 0 as a denominator, they should throw some error. And here in assertion I should mention that in the expected value I should mention, okay, it should give XYZ error. And then I should match it with the result. That's how I will do. That is the negative test.
Okay.
End of the day, everything should pass here. nothing should fail. Yeah.
So,
Yes.
yeah, my question is like, so writing test cases it is similar to a class. You just create a class, but you declare it as a test in the
Yes.
beginning, so that
Yes.
it acts as a test.
Exactly. Yes. True.
So this is the same for Jenkins. Sorry, for
For
JUnit.
JUnit, TestNG, everything.
Selenium.
Let's say, for example, I removed this for subtract test, okay?
Mhm.
And I save it. You see, it's gone here. It's not. It's already gone here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand.
And if I run it, it will not work. But if I put it again here,
Yeah, and
it came.
okay.
Yeah. So these are
Yeah,
the
and in
annotations.
fact,
These are mandatory.
yeah, okay. And in a particular test method, you have arrange, act, and assert, right?
Yes.
So that is, how do you differentiate? Like you have a commented right now for our reference,
Okay.
but how does it understand that the first one is arrange, second one is,
Yeah. See,
because in the act there are
object.
2 lines.
You create an object that is arranging.
Okay.
Acting is
Okay.
something you create variables, values, whatever the
Okay,
data you need to get from that functionality.
And assert
All the
data.
Just
possible
in a
cases.
minute, guys.
Yeah, all the possible
Is the next-
cases is act, and assert is just you use assets
Assert.
from this.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Okay, guys. So just go through it, read as
Yeah,
much as you
sure.
can, come back with the questions. I think our time is over.
Yeah.
Okay. So which do you prefer, TDD or BDD?
I mean, it depends upon the
Situation maybe.
yeah,
But which is widely used?
both.
Yeah, my question is this only, which
Both,
is
both.
mainly used.
Both I would say.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And both are the own purpose, right? Their own purpose.
Yes.
You're using
Yes.
both.
So the
I
call
guess developer friendly is TDD, tester friendly is BDD. I'm just asking.
might be, yeah, we can differentiate. We can find some differences. But yeah.
Yes, we have interview
Okay.
question on TDD.
Okay. Before it disconnects, let's end the call for the first time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.